What if I told you that 10,000 shillings could be your first step towards financial freedom? Sounds crazy? Well, stick around because in today's episode, I'm going to reveal to you several places, 10 places where you can invest 10,000 shillings and start your journey towards attaining financial freedom. Remember, like we said, financial freedom is the state where you have sufficient or you have accumulated sufficient passive income such that you can live your life that you want without having to bother about money or about your finances. You have your dividends, you have your interest, you have your coupons. So where is this that you can start this journey towards financial freedom if you only have 10,000 shillings? My name is Berlin. Please press the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, and let's get started. The first place that I'm going to mention is what you must have already heard about, and that is the money market funds. And this is because it is a low risk and it has a low starting capital. In fact, some like ZD, Mali, and even Etica, which is my favorite by the way, has a starting capital as low as 100 shillings. So with 10,000 shillings, you can start your journey towards attaining financial freedom by starting off by investing in a money market fund. Another investment that I would do with 10,000 shillings is investment in stocks or in equities. Equities is a portion, or stocks, shares is a portion of ownership of a company. So with 10K, I would move into NSE and invest in some good dividend stocks that has potential of earning me capital gain as well. Okay, now if you don't have the skills to invest in NSE yourself, you can opt to invest in an equity fund. So that is my third place where I'll invest my 10K in, an equity fund. What's an equity fund? An equity fund is a collective investment scheme. Just like money market fund is a collective investment scheme. However, in equity funds, the underlying asset is stocks or shares of companies, quoted and unquoted companies. Just like with money market fund is invested in short-term, highly liquid and safe secure investment vehicles, equity funds is invested primarily in equities. Okay? Now, I'll also consider investing in property. Can you start off your investment in property if you only have 10,000 shillings? Yes, you can. Through REITs, Real Estate Investment Trust, which is a portion of ownership of a property. Yeah, I think I need to do another video on REITs that will explain it extensively. Just like shares is a portion of ownership of a company, a REIT will be a portion of ownership of a property. This is where people come together, they pull in resources together, and then they buy a specific property, which is either for development or for income. I'll do another video later, so you need to stick around. The next place I would invest in is bonds, the treasury bonds. But can you open a Thou CSD account and invest and put your bid for 10,000 shillings? Am I lying that you can invest in bonds if you only have 10,000 shillings? No, I'm not lying. You can invest in bonds through a collective investment scheme. Just like I told you, you can invest in shares through a collective investment scheme. So you can also invest your 10,000 shillings in a bond fund. A bond fund is a collective investment scheme whose underlying asset is debt equities. This is corporate bonds, this is commercial papers, treasury bills, treasury bonds, sovereign bonds, and so on. Debt securities, right? So we have bond funds in the market where you can invest your 10,000 shillings in, and they offer good returns. Okay? Now, another place where you can consider investing your 10,000 shillings in is peer-to-peer lending. Peer-to-peer lending is where I lend Esther money, or I lend John, or I lend Joseph money, and in return, I get back this money later at a profit or with some interest on top. Like I would give 1,000 shillings to one person to give me back with 20% interest after 1 week, after 1 month, at the end of the day, depending on the arrangement, right? And this interest rate will be left up to me to decide at what rate am I going to charge my other peer the money that I'm lending her or him, okay? However, this will be a high risk investment, so you need to be able to assess your risk so well. Know the person you're lending the money to and ensure that whatever rate you're charging will compensate you of that risk. But it's also a good avenue for earning some extra income if you have just 10,000 shillings. Where else would you invest 10,000 shillings? In your personal development. Or I would invest my 10K in my personal development. I have told you guys time and again in almost all videos that you need to spend, or you need to endeavor to acquire more knowledge. However, in as much as I'm saying that you can spend 10K in your personal development, do not use it to buy or to acquire a skill that you can learn for free online. Which most skills are, by the way. Don't use your 10,000 shillings to pay for a course that you can find for free online. If the course is unavailable, or if time is not on your end though, go ahead. You can go ahead to pay for that course or to work towards acquiring that skill. Where else would you consider investing your 10,000 shillings in if you had just 10,000 shillings? I would consider e-commerce. Okay? Buy things online and sell them online. Where else would you invest your 10,000 shillings? Could you please share with us in the comment section? Where else would you, or how else would you consider investing your 10,000 shillings? I have told you personally, I would consider money market fund, I would consider bond fund, I would consider equities, I would consider peer-to-peer lending, I would consider e-commerce, and the other instruments that I have mentioned or asset classes that I have mentioned. Where would you invest your 10,000 shillings? If I gave you 10,000 shillings now, how would you use it? Or would you find it easier to go chapa kanywaji over the weekend and spoil your girlfriend, spoil your boyfriend, spoil your children, or whatever, splurge it out rather, and then be left with nothing? If you had just 10K to start your journey towards attaining financial freedom, how would you use it? The list I've shared with you is not exhaustive enough, but this is how I, at a personal level, would invest my 10,000 shillings if I had it now, either as a lump sum or in bits. And of course, I am not saying that once you invest your 10,000 shillings, you are potentially going to attain financial freedom. No, but that can be your starting point. You could be having your 10K now and you start investing with your 10K as you gradually increase your investment up to a level where you'll have attained financial freedom. Now, what does that tell you? Now, that tells you that you'll not be discussing investments if you don't already have a source of active income. Okay? Because you can invest what you have. You cannot open a money market fund or invest in an MMF if you don't have the money to invest in the first place. So how do you get this money to invest in the first place? Through your active income or other sources. Okay? So for you to get to the level where we are all dreaming or aspiring to be, that is the level of attaining financial freedom, you need to have a source of revenue. Once you have that source of revenue, you need to learn how to invest, how to multiply your wealth. Okay? You need to learn how to mitigate your risks and how to compound your investment. And these are topics that I cover in this channel consistently. And that is why I keep saying, please make a point of going back to my previous videos and watch them. Watch them repeatedly. There is a lot of valuable information in those videos, right? Which, if you don't watch by the way, you are likely to miss out on a lot. My name is Berlin. Thank you for staying around, and let's meet on the next video.